Hello students! Today we are talking about your aims in studying, zero and first conditional. Dreamers, hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field, frozen with snow. Langston Hughes. There are a lot of dreams. For example, to be an adult, to be free and rich, to get good marks, and to have peace in the world. A. Plants grow if you water them. B. If you talk to plants, they grow more. C. If you use a mobile phone on a plane, it isn't dangerous. Your task is to look at the sentences in the zero conditional and choose the correct alternative. Number 1. We use the zero conditional to talk about specific situations or things that are generally true, like scientific rules. Number 2. For the zero conditional in the half of the sentence with if, we use the present simple or will. And number 3, in the other half of the sentence, we use the present simple or will. Let's check your answers. Number 1. We use the zero conditional to talk about things that are generally true, like scientific rules. Number 2. For the zero conditional, in the half of the sentence with if, we use the present simple. Number 3. In the other half of the sentence, we use the present simple. Let's study the rule when we use the zero conditional. We use the zero conditional to talk about situations that are generally or always true. For example, if you don't drink any liquids, you die. We can make a zero conditional sentence with two present simple verbs, one in the if clause and one in the main clause. If plus present simple, comma, plus present simple. This conditional is used when the result will always happen. So if water reaches 100 degrees, it always boils. It's a fact. I'm talking in general, not about one particular situation. The result of the if clause is always the main clause. And here are some examples. If you take a fish out of water, it dies. If we arrive at school late, the teachers get angry. If people eat too much, they get fat. If you touch a fire, you get burned. People die if they don't eat. Snakes bite if they are scared. The if in this conditional can usually be replaced by when without changing the meaning. Now your task is to put the verbs in the correct form to make zero conditional sentences. Let's check your answers. Number 1. If you walk to school, it's good for you. Number 2. If you don't switch off your computer, it uses electricity. Number 3. Paper goes yellow if it is in the sun. Number 4. It is bad for you if you don't eat fruit or vegetables. Number 5. If you don't ring the bell, the bus doesn't stop. Now your task is to match the halves to make true sentences. Put the verbs in the second half in the correct sense. Let's check your answers. Number 1. If you mix red and white, you get pink. Number 2. If you add 2 and 2, the answer is 4. Number 3. If you go out in the rain without an umbrella, the rain makes you wet. Number 4. If you drop a glass on the floor, it breaks. Number 5. If you drink sea water, it makes you thirstier than before. Number 6. If you make sand very hot, it becomes glass. I have some questions for you. What will you do if you miss the bus home today? What will you do if it rains all weekend? A. If I finish my homework on time, I will watch that science program. B. If I go there, I will remember to wear a hat. Read the sentences again in the first conditional and answer the questions. Number 1. Do we use the first conditional to talk about specific possible situations or to talk about things that are generally true? Number 2. For the first conditional, what tense do we use in the half of the sentence with if? And number 3. What tense do we use in the other half of the sentence? Let's check your answers. Number 1. Do we use the first conditional to talk about specific possible situations or to talk about things that are generally true? To talk about specific possible situations. Number 2. For the first conditional, what tense do we use in the half of the sentence with if? Present simple. Number 3. What tense do we use in the other half of the sentence? The future with will. Let's study the rule when we use the first conditional. We use the first conditional to talk about specific possible situations in the future and their consequences. For example, if it doesn't rain, we won't have enough water. The first conditional has the present simple after if, then the future simple in the other clause. If plus present simple plus comma plus subject plus will plus base verb. For example, if it rains, comma, I will stay home. It used to talk about things which might happen in the future. Of course, we can't know what will happen in the future, but this describes possible things which could easily come true. For example, if the bus comes, we will get on. If we don't listen, we won't understand. If I study today, I will go to the party tonight. The first conditional describes a particular situation, whereas the zero conditional describes what happens in general. Now let's do some exercises with the first conditional. Read the sentences and choose the correct alternative. Now let's check your answers. Number 1. If I go to university next year, I will study math or chemistry. Number 2. If I spend all my money now, I won't be able to go out at the weekend. Number 3. I will go to bed early tonight if I feel tired. Number 4. If the weather is good tomorrow, I will go for a run. Number 5. If my friend has time tonight, she will help me to fix my computer. Number 6. My parents say they will buy my brother a motorbike if he passes his test. In this exercise, your task is to look at the situations and consequences. Use the words to write sentences in the first conditional. Now let's check your answers. Number 1. If I see Tom, I will give him the message. Number 2. If the bus doesn't come, I will walk. Number 3. If my pen doesn't work, I will buy another one. Number 4. If my team wins, I will be happy. Number 5. If there is no water, I will buy some. And number 6. If I don't do my homework, my teacher will be angry. Now look at the situations. Think about possible consequences and complete the sentences using the first conditional. Now let's summarize our lesson. What will you do if you have a lot of exams next week? What will you do if your friend is angry with you this weekend? What will you do if you don't have anything special to do this evening? That's all for today. Have a nice day. Goodbye.